So there, Rockstar Rap Music City eats all over me. You guys want see? But I've already told you on my YouTube channel, but I'm gonna say it again. Ryan, a Rockstar, was my birth name. Rockstar Everett Adams. My grandfather, Ronnie Everett Adams. All three of us, my scumbag father, my grandfather, and I had a REA. Rockstar was from my grandfather. My grandfather named me Rockstar. And that was my birth name until my dad fucked it up. My scumbag parents, they were always trying to be better than each other. Instead of being adults and raising the kids in a good environment, yeah, it was bullshit. So do you guys understand how many dramatic how my life was? But in 1983, there was one surgeon in the state of Maine that was even able to make this surgery. He was in Jamaica, I do believe. He was there for a week. He was there for a 2 week span because there was I want to say it was a female that was born with her intestines on the outside. He wasn't able to save her. She was the seventh. I was the eighth. When he got the phone call, I'm gonna come back because I'm not. Yeah, we lost one a week ago, but I'm not gonna sit there and keep on vacation when we have opportunity to save some little kid's life, and I'm not gonna sit there and join. Basically, he saved my life. The surgeon saved my life, but he came back early. He said he'll finish his vacation later on because he didn't. He wanted to at least attempt to save me. So when he got, and there was only one surgeon in Portland, Maine, and the reason why there was he was in Portland, Maine, because Portland, Maine was the capital of Maine. So if it was Augusta, Maine, then I would have probably been dead. But it was Portland, Maine. Now Augusta, Maine is the capital of Maine. But back in here when I landed on land, it was 1983. Portland, Maine was the capital of Maine. It's a city. So within myself, I'm a city person. But yeah, my intestines were on the outside with the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. My mother had a C-section to get me out. She died having me, and I was pronounced dead at birth. But they put the CPR on us both. She got back together. Started breathing again. When she came back to, she never went back out. But they would get me up to breathe, and then 2 seconds later, I'll go back out. Then they get me back, and then I'll go back out. And then they go to my mother and said, hey, look, like we'll be done trying because he's not staying alive. He keeps on going out. And my mother said, no, he's my first child, and I'll try some more times. So they went back and they tried, 3 more times, and the third time, I was able to keep air long enough to put me into an incubator. I lived in an incubator for the first 9 months of my life after the surgery. And I got out the incubator. They sent me home with a piece of plywood and seatbelts on it because I had to sleep on my back. As a little person, just a little baby, I was 6 or something like that, and they said the only reason that I stayed alive is because I was this size I was. If I was born any smaller or any bigger, I would have not made it. But they said that the will that I had to fight for life, that also, and God was on my side. But I was the first one out of 8 children to survive the complications at birth. So again, they gave my mother my body, but it said, "Here's his intestines. Be careful because they're really not attached. So here's his body. Here's his intestines." So basically, they shoved their intestines back in my stomach, and they sewed my stomach back together. But they took meat from my ass to put it on my stomach to stretch it so they could sew it. Now you see no belly button, and then I have a scar here and a scar here. But I know it's hard to see because of my tattoos covering it, but they're there. But the first in 1983, I was the first out of 8 children to survive the complications. And when my mother took me from the hospital, we went straight to Bristol, Connecticut. I want to say it was 9 or 10 when we moved back, something like that. So the first years of my life was in Bristol, Connecticut. So that is where my childhood home is. I was only in Maine for 7 to 8, 9, maybe 10 years, if that. And then I went back to Florida. Or not back to Florida, but I drove to Florida for about 9 years. And then came back to Maine. And that's when everything started going fucking off. And for that, 7 to 8 years ago, I was trying to explain something to somebody, and it felt like I died on the cross. It felt like I was God dying, and everyone's sins was stabbing me in the fucking back like it was pin needles just driving in my back. So it's reincarnation. You go down here by Waffle House by Walmart. They have that thing repenting. Jesus coming and repenting. You're seeing him. It's this one. But when I had the seizure, I felt like I was done. I was dead. I died. But it felt like I died on the cross. But they're pissed off because they were trying to kill me with the truth about them. Right? Now they're pissed off because I'm not dead. And they're pissed off because they don't want the truth about them coming out. So they were trying to kill me. So basically it looked like I did everything. And they were trying to hide from the light. You see why they're hiding behind closed doors?